How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I actually put a community question post up on my community section, that's how it works, for you guys to ask me questions either about the game or about myself, whether it was something to do with YouTube, whether it was something to do with just me personally, or whether it was just something that you wanted to know about the game. Maybe you had some questions that you couldn't find the answers to anywhere on YouTube or online, and maybe we could help you out with that, or maybe you just wanted my opinion on something to do with the game as well. Anyway, you guys have gone in the comment section and left loads of questions there, so we're going to go through those today. And as you guys know, I love involving you guys in my videos. It makes it a lot more enjoyable for me. But not only that, I'm not going to lie to you guys, these videos are just easy to do. And when I'm at a point where things like Path to Riches is on a little bit of a time scale, it's taking a little bit longer than I'd expect in certain places and stuff, then these videos are great to get involved with as well. But not only that, like I say, I love involving you guys in the videos. So if you enjoy this, do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you've never seen these community question posts before, then keep an eye out for them, as I do usually put up questions about the game in there, and then you guys will comment and then we'll talk about that. But today it's a little bit different. Anyway, let's get into this. Alright, so the first comment says, what was your path into PVM like? Where did you start, and what got you motivated to keep progressing further into it? PVM for me was a little bit of a weird one, because I used to do a lot of PVM, and when I've been playing Runescape, once I've hit endgame, and once I returned to EOC, my only goal really was PVM. I was just used to do things like the Queen Black Dragon a lot, and I used to do quite a lot of things like Frost Dragons. That doesn't really count as PVM, but that's where I made quite a lot of my money. It was literally just Frost Dragons, Queen Black Dragon, Frost Dragons, Queen Black Dragon. I don't know, maybe I just like dragons, but at the same time, I didn't really do much else. However, once I built my gear up from doing a lot of QBD, I actually joined a clan, a big PVM clan, which I'm not going to mention the name of because it wasn't a good time. The whole place was just a little bit of a mess, and I just had to leave it. It was just not good. But they got me into a little bit of PVM. We did things like Calfight King, and then I started soloing next while I was in there. However, there wasn't really that much that came out of that. I just did Calfight King a few times, and then I left that because it was just super toxic, and I realized that I didn't want to do these high-end bosses. They put me off sort of trying to get into bosses like AOD and doing Virago with a group and all that sort of stuff, because in my head now, all I could see was that it was this super toxic endgame sort of stuff, and it was just something that put me off basically and made me just want to solo everything. So what I decided to do from this point onwards was learn as much solo stuff as I possibly could. So I actually took myself to Nex. Nex was like the first boss that I really learned to solo, that and Araxor probably, and Nex was a funny thing because I had to do it with melee. I was doing Nex with melee. Now you guys can probably imagine me using melee back in the day when I was even worse than I am now, and using a Zerk rotation on Blood Phase and stuff. It was a joke. It was really bad. This was before getting max, so no boss portal or anything like that, but then after dying there over and over again, finally getting used to it, and then realizing that this is just not efficient whatsoever to run from the teleport spot all the way through to the God Wars 1 and then into next room, I decided that I'm going to go for max. Once I'd maxed is when my PVM really started off. Basically, after a while, all I really did was Nex, like just Nex. I would log on for a couple of hours a day, do Nex for a couple of hours a day, and that was it. Eventually I started throwing myself at Telos, trying to learn that, and that's pretty much where I started YouTube. I wasn't very good at the game at all, and the way I got into PVM properly, and the motivation that kept me going and getting further into it, was actually YouTube. You guys in the comment section telling me how to do stuff, giving me tips, and helping me progress. I could actually also go back and watch my videos and see the progress that I had. It was amazing. I can go back now and watch my first videos and see how bad I was at PVM. Like, I'm not amazing at it now, right? But I am so much better now than I was then, which makes sense because it's been a lot of time. But honestly, I thought I was good. I thought I was okay at the time. I was using a Yak and Nex. It was so bad, but I can go back and I can see that difference, and that's what sort of motivates me to keep going, because I know that the next video I do, I would have learned something else, and then give it another year and I'll be able to look back again and be like, look, that was me. That was me struggling at ED3 or struggling at ED1, and here's me now. So that's probably my biggest motivation to keep going with PVM, and that's where it started as well. The next message comes from Rune Joker, and you say, do I think meta is something to worry about? I've been grinding gear upgrades, but always worried when I get a big upgrade for one combat style when the meta shifts if a new item comes out. I see you use mage for everything and do crazy DPS. Okay, first off, honestly, comparing me to a lot of other PVMers, my DPS is just not that great. Like, it's okay, it's fine, I get by. But either way, the point of the question is, do I think meta is something to worry about? Personally, I don't know if you've watched much of my streams or anything like that. No, I'm not fussed about meta in the slightest. I will do what I want to do in the game and I'll enjoy it. But not only that, I'm kind of in a position where I don't have the money to really worry about meta. Even if I wanted to just do absolutely everything meta and do the only thing that was the best in the game, I wouldn't have the money for it. And I don't think anyone who doesn't have the money for it should really worry about it at all. If you're someone who is like, if you're stressing about getting gear upgrades and you're worried about putting your money into the wrong gear at the moment because you think it's just the wrong way to go, it might change, stop worrying about it, because you don't have enough money to be meta anyway. Because if you're just upgrading your gear now, you don't have enough money for a staff of armor, you don't have enough money for an eldritch crossbow, you don't have enough money for putting an eldritch crossbow and an essence of finality, that's probably for sure. I know that I don't even at this point, and currently every combat style is viable in most places in the game. There will of course be certain bosses that you don't want to use specific styles at. For example, next you don't want to use anything except for range, because you can reflect from melee and reflect from magic as well, and since you're going to bank every kill, you can force it to always do the magic one. However, just pick the combat style and max out the combat style that you're happiest with, the one that you're more comfortable with, the one you enjoy using the most, because at the moment it doesn't really matter to you. Once you've got all 3 combat styles covered, if you want to do that, get all 3 combat styles covered, and then focus on the meta. If you really want to get the absolute best out of DPS, if you really want to make sure that you're doing the absolute best kill times you can do and you want to start competing for that sort of stuff, then that's when you look into meta. There's not really much point as a lower level player, someone who's just getting into PVM, for example. You say you've been grinding out gear upgrades and stuff, so if you've still got a lot of gear upgrades to go, then you've probably not long been into PVM. You've probably got a lot of other stuff you can figure out, and there's probably a lot of other stuff you can do to increase your DPS rather than just upgrading your gear and focusing on the meta. For example, ability rotations, timing, and specific stuff in bosses and stuff like that are all going to help out a lot more than just making sure you have that tiny little bit of extra damage from whatever the meta is. Stop stressing about the meta if you're not fussed about all that like absolute spot on DPS stuff, and just enjoy the game. Like, you can use whatever you want anywhere, you can get through boss kills absolutely anywhere. If you are, however, concerned with just getting absolutely everything out of it, then yes, maybe that will be something that you need to look at. But like I say, unless you're at a point where you've got the money to chuck into it, it is expensive. Following the meta, making sure you have absolute best in slot is freaking expensive, especially if it's range. I think range at the moment is still the meta. Using bolt switches, using an essence of finality with an ECB, and then also having another ECB as well, making sure you've got blightbound crossbows with all the best perks and stuff. It is damn expensive, and just you wait until the tier 95 range weapon comes out. It's going to be even more. But do I think you should worry about the meta? No, you shouldn't worry about it. Don't let it freaking stress you out, man. If you want to use magic, use magic. If you want to use range. Focus on getting whatever you want first, and then you can maybe look at the meta afterwards. The next comment is from I Like Turtles, and you say, where do you see or want the channel to go in the future, and how do you decide what to make videos of? Okay, this is definitely an interesting one. Where do I see or want the channel to go in the future? I don't really see the channel getting that much bigger, to be honest, personally. It could, right? It definitely can. But I've always been surprised every day that I wake up and see the number jumped up, or like if I realize that actually I've just hit 12,000 subscribers. Like it shocks me. I started off this as just something that I was just making on my phone. Like, I'm not even joking. I made videos on my phone. If you want to scroll right back to the beginning, I don't suggest that anyone does, but the videos were terrible. Like, they were so damn bad. But I made it because it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. I wanted to learn about how like video editing worked and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, I picked up YouTube because I wanted to get into video editing. I wanted to actually get into that and figure out how that works. And I thought YouTube could be a good way to practice that. And then I could maybe do some studying with it and whatever. And then it turned into this, and now this is my full-time job, right? But as for seeing where the channel goes in the future, I've not really set like specific goals for the channel itself. Obviously, I just want it to get as big as it can. Like, that's numbers go up, let's keep the numbers going up. It's pretty much how that works, right? But I'm in a position now where I'm impressed with what's happened. I'm quite happy with the place it's in. Obviously, I'd like to get even more out of it. Of course I would, why wouldn't I? But at the same time, I'm very happy with how the channel's going, and I just want it to keep going basically the way it is. I just upload the videos, you guys seem to enjoy them, we'll keep it going that way. How do I decide what to make videos of? This is like my daily stress, man. This is getting into like my daily thing of what the hell, man. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize about YouTube. It is a 24/7 job. Like it really is. Especially if you're uploading, trying to upload daily. It literally you cannot turn off. You can't turn off. my mind is constantly running, what can I do next, what do people like the most, what does the best on my channel, loads of stuff basically. And the way it works is I will have my phone with me, obviously, like most people do. The second an idea pops into my head, I write it in there. I must have about 50 plus video ideas written in my phone at the moment, and probably about 40 of those will never get used. The reason being is sometimes there's just not enough in there to make a video, and I'll have to combine it with another one at some point, or maybe they're just video ideas that seem good at the time, but then when I sit down to try and make them, I'm like, that won't work, it just won't work. But my mind will literally not stop. But not only that, Jagex is pretty useful. Sometimes they can even make quite a few mistakes, which pops up and I'm like, boom, there's a free video for me today. Or when they do the updates, God Wars 3 has been a godsend. Like, it really has. They have literally made it so easy to keep content coming because there's been so many updates, frequent updates. I can look at patch notes, I can talk about bugs, I can talk about the new weapons, I can test out armor. There's so much things I can do with it, and that helps a lot. So updates every Monday, things like patch notes is easy. There's a lot of stuff, and deciding what to make on videos is quite difficult, but honestly I've got myself in the position where if I've got a video idea, I'll just make it, upload it, hope it does well, and hope you guys receive it well. And then of course I've got my other things, right? I've got my series stuff. Series are amazing. They will literally hold the channel together for the days that I don't really have any ideas that I want to do. If need be, I can always fall back on the Path to Riches series, edit all that together, that's absolutely fine, and having a series to fall back on just makes my life so much easier sometimes. Some of these are getting quite long, but the next one is pretty short. Neddy, what games do I play beside RuneScape? I like to play Dota 2 sometimes. I've just got back into that. And then other than that, really not that much at the moment. I played Final Fantasy 14 for a bit, but I struggle to find time for that at the moment as well. So MMOs, MOBAs, League of Legends a little bit here and there as well. I used to play DayZ for a while, but at the moment I'm pretty much just set on RuneScape. Until something else comes out and takes my time, I play a little bit of Dota 2 here and there now. I don't know how long that'll last for. There's only played about 5 games of that, but at the moment, not that much other than RuneScape. The next comment says, how many hours a day do you play on average? About 3, maybe 2 or 3, and that might sound surprising to you guys because I do YouTube full time. Most of my day is spent editing, recording, doing other stuff, uploading videos, making thumbnails, planning out the next day, making sure I've got a video ready for the next day, and then of course I'll do my stream. When I'm streaming, that's pretty much the time I play. I'll then play again another hour or 2 in the evening. Sometimes it depends, but I usually stream for 2 hours and then I'll play like an hour or 2 in the evening as well. So on a good day, when I find myself to have a bit more time, then maybe 4 or 5 hours, but on average probably about 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4, like not that much. You guys are probably going to be surprised by how many hours I actually play, like sit and play the game. And when I'm playing the game, it's always Path to Riches stuff, which is why I love that series so much anyway, because it is literally just start playing the game, and that's the best way to go about it. But yeah, not as much as you guys probably think, right? Let me know in the comments. Does that surprise you or not? I'm interested. Next up is the comment, if I came to RuneFest, would I say hi to you? If I was at RuneFest, then of course I would say hi to everyone. However, I'm not sure if I'd ever actually go to RuneFest or not. I don't know if that's just not for me or not. We'll have to see one day, maybe one day we'll go to RuneFest. But for now, you guys don't even know what I look like. And honestly, part of me is actually kind of happy. I like to keep work separate from real life. Then I can sort of, when I turn off my computer, I can be done with it, and if I ever need a little break, I can just do that, and there's nothing else really there. Most of the people that know me in real life don't really know anything about my YouTube. They know that I do YouTube, they don't really know my channel name or anything like that, and that's because again I like to keep that separate from my real life stuff as well. But maybe that'll change one day. Maybe we'll get a camera, maybe we'll chuck that on. And the camera to begin with wasn't even like a choice, I just didn't have one. But now we've got to this point, I don't really feel the need to have one anymore. Most RuneScape YouTubers don't use one anyway, so you don't really need them, but at the same time I just don't feel a need for it as well. But you know, maybe one day guys, maybe one day. And as for the RuneFest thing, if I ever do go to RuneFest, of course I would say hello to everybody. Like I would have to, it would just be absolutely amazing. Next up, we have a comment from Salty Llama. This may end up being the last one. I don't know. I've been dragging quite a lot of these on, but I feel like it's a personal video, so it's fine. We can keep talking. You guys will have to get over it, won't you? Anyway, realistically, how much do you think you spend in Death's Office per week? What are my opinions on death costs, that it can make deaths cheaper by dying items? What are your thoughts on the new animations and rumors floating about RuneScape 4? Okay, let's try and get through these pretty quickly. Realistically, how much do I think I spend in Death's Office per week? Let me have a think. It's probably... I actually don't even want to work this out, to be honest with you, Salty, but I actually want to say probably about 150 mil. I'm not even joking. It probably is about 150 mil. I quite comfortably, at the moment, not comfortably, quite easily, chuck away about 16 mil per stream on death costs, right? Like, it really is that easy sometimes. If I die twice on stream, that's about like 16 mil on average death cost, maybe a little bit more. If I do that every day, and then there's the other extra stuff that I'm doing at night, like when I'm playing by myself, I could quite easily get close to about 150 million death costs every week. That's insane to think about. The fact that my money's still going up though is definitely something I'm happy about, but it could be going up so much more. That's crazy. Thank you for pointing that one out. What are your opinions on death costs as well? That it can make deaths cheaper by dyeing items? That's backwards. You shouldn't have to dye items to make it cheaper. That's just a bit weird. I think it's just a mechanic that wasn't intended. I think that it's probably just been chucked in the game, grand exchange values, all that sort of stuff. But I mean, if there's an option to make death costs cheaper, then you might as well take it. I don't think it was intended though, so it doesn't really matter too much. And what are my thoughts on the new animations? Rumors floating around about RuneScape 4. Good or bad for the game? I think it'll be good. I think most people these days have accepted that RuneScape 3's graphics aren't the old school version anymore, and I don't think a graphical update, if that's what RuneScape 4 is going to be, will actually be a bad thing for the game like it did in the past. So when it upgraded from old school to RuneScape 3, people were like, what the frick are these graphics? Even I was the same. I was like, why does everything look so different? I don't like it at all. But I think a graphical update today will probably be great for the game. People are probably waiting for it. People will probably love it. I'd love a graphical update to the game, I'm not gonna lie. As long as it doesn't look ridiculously stupid, I would love to see a full rework on the graphics again, bringing it even more modern. Like, I really would. I don't know. This is definitely an interesting one though, so guys in the comments, let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think the graphics rework would be good? Do you think the animations and all that sort of stuff, like a change to that stuff, would be good as well? If it's that smooth as well from what they were showing, then that's gonna be so good. But I've got a feeling that's not RuneScape 4. I've got a feeling it's a different game. Whether they're working on like a MOBA, maybe, whether they're making on something like that, I really don't know, but I just don't think it's going to be RuneScape 3 related. And also, that doesn't mean we'll even see anything to do with them in the future at all. They were just dug up, weren't they? They were leaked, I think, from the Jagex servers or whatever. I don't exactly know how they're obtained, but I wouldn't get your hopes up for anything too soon on this. It could even just not ever happen. It could have been something they were just planning on working on or looking at. But I'd be interested, and I really hope it is something to do with RuneScape and like a big update or whatever coming. But I feel like we probably would have known something about it if it was. Alright, we'll make this our last comment for this video, and it's from I Am Seamus. You said, I'm very close to maxing, like 4 skills away. It's been 7 years, on and off. I can barely keep 1 mil at a time due to losing supplies and dying to learning PVM. Any suggestions or advice you can offer? The only advice I could really offer to you right now is you're going to be spending money to upgrade your account, but you're spending money in the right way. Like you've literally just said, you're spending money, losing it on supplies and dying learning PVM. So this is absolutely fine. You're going to lose money this way. It's just the way it works, but you're not just chucking it away. You're not wasting it on stupid things, and you're investing the money in the right place. Everybody gets to this point at some point where you're going to literally be investing all your money into your levels, upgrading all your levels and stuff, and then you're obviously putting money into supplies for bossing, PVMing, and death costs, all that sort of stuff. But this is all the sort of things that is a good investment. Anything that progresses your account, anything that improves how you play the game, anything that makes it spent on like you actually improving and getting better and being able to do more stuff is 100% worth doing. You will make this money back, trust me. Once you spend more money on PVM, once you've learned the bosses, once you are getting drops, you will make this money back. 1 drop at ED3 is about 1 bill at the moment. 1 drop at Raksha, you could get a greater ricochet, and that's a freaking ton of money as well. And eventually you'll realize that money can come so fast, but it also goes so damn fast as well. Like, I have had God knows how much money in drops, and it is all gone. Like, it's all sat in gear. I'm poor at the moment, but that's okay, because that's just the way this works. You invest your money in other stuff, you get the stuff out of it. You're spending the money in the right place. Get your levels up, finish your max, that's all worth it, and then also focus on your PVM like you are. You're investing the money in the right place, it'll come back, you'll get a return on it. It'll just feel a little bit crap at the moment. Focus on doing bosses that you're not going to die too much on every now and again. Do some consistent stuff, like if you're going to go do Vindicta for a couple of hours, maybe do some Hellwear. That'll keep your cash stack a little bit higher than less than 1 mil each time, but once you've done that, if you're spending money in the right places, it's absolutely fine. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, this has been a little bit more of a personal video as well with some of the questions. I hope that you guys have been interested in that, and if you are, let me know. Maybe I can do a full video on just those, so we'll put another community questions up, but we'll make it so it's just about that sort of thing. And then maybe next time that I do it, I'll do it on stream. You guys can ask me in stream the questions and all that sort of stuff, and we'll just go through it and record it that way. So if you're interested in finding out more about my YouTube stuff, more about just me, really, I guess it'll let you guys feel a little bit closer closer to me as well, and that's not a bad thing in all honesty. So if you are interested in that, let me know and I will definitely take that into account and see what we can do with it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, for the people who comment on these videos saying, oh, it's just some background footage and you talking, that is these videos. I'm aware, you don't need to tell me. I make the videos, damn it. Like, this is the sort of video that I'm making. If you don't enjoy it, just click off the video, it's fine. Come back later to a different video. You don't have to watch all of my videos. Not everybody is gonna like every single one of the videos I post. Most people do like these, so that's a good thing. I enjoy them, and I am going to keep making them because of course I enjoy making them. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you to the channel members for your extra support. Your names will be on screen right now. I really appreciate you guys. Absolutely amazing. It helps out a hell of a lot. If anyone else is interested in joining the channel members, then click the join button by the sub button, and you can actually get some perks while you support the channel as well, and I really appreciate it. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later guys. Bye.